It's your boy Porter Rock 77, and I'm back with another video. Check out the description box. You'll see the link to my Twitter, and you'll see the link to the PayPal if you choose and want to support the channel. But if you don't, that's cool. What you're doing right now is what I truly appreciate the most, which is you checking out the content, you're checking out the video. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I hope you give a like and a subscribe. I hope you enjoyed the content I'm about to give, and check out some of my older videos so you can catch up on some of the things I said. Now, on to the topic. Rumor talk set by a YouTuber named DreamcastGuy, saying from his sources that's internal to Microsoft, the next Xbox is going to launch in 2019 due to concerns that Microsoft have with the PlayStation 5. All right? I'll put the link to the article so you'll have it. I'm just going to give you my opinion on that rumor, what I think about it, and just a conversation. To me, this rumor is just going to fall in line with power talk. Because now that I look at it, now that I look at the articles, it's bringing in the most clicks. Power is bringing in the most clicks, you know. And I think the conversation about the next Xbox or the next PlayStation for 2019 is going to take away from what we need to truly focus on and what we truly need to hold these console manufacturers accountable for is getting games. All right? I think we had more than enough hardware this generation. More that could last us 5 generations. Well, I'm exaggerating. But we have the PS4, the PS4 Slim, the PS4 Pro, the PlayStation VR. On the Xbox front, we had the OG Xbox. Then the Xbox, what is it, Elite or whatever. And then we got the Xbox One S. And now we had the Xbox One X. And then Nintendo, within 4 years, went from the Wii U to the Switch. We have plenty of hardware. There's hardware everywhere. What we need is content, because that's the whole point of purchasing these hardwares. We need more PlayStation VR content. We need more content that supports the Pro enhancements. And we need more content that supports Xbox One X enhancements. And we need content on the Switch that people can enjoy to take on the go. That's what we need. All right? We need more games in HDR. Everything that these consoles and whatever console you choose to provide, the content is what's going to make those consoles even the point to own them. All right? I'm free flowing here. Now I'm going to tell you realistically. Now I want you to keep in mind. I remember when conversations about Ryzen and Vega were coming out, I was one of the few people, if not the only people, but I would say at a minimum the few people that said the Project Scorpio is not going to have Ryzen and it's not going to have Vega. Some people took that as, because, you're a PlayStation fanboy and you're just afraid and you don't want the best for Xbox. And I was like, no, it has nothing to do with me liking PlayStation. Listen, when I give an opinion, it's not based on fear for PlayStation. All right, let's get that straight. There is no fear for PlayStation. There's no me being scared for PlayStation on any level. All right. Whether I open my mouth, whether I have an opinion, whether I have a YouTube channel or not, PlayStation's gonna do what it's gonna do. Right? Did you guys ever heard of my name during the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 era? No. Wasn't around, right? No one ever talked to me. No one ever saw a video for me. Never saw a social media comment for me, right? Yet PlayStation 1 and 2 dominated, right? Has anyone ever heard of peep for me during the PlayStation 3 era? No, they haven't. And PlayStation had issues. PlayStation is going to do what it's going to do. When I talk from a sense of logic and understanding and paying attention to the industry and learning about the hobby I love, all right? So make no mistake, right? So as far as Xbox, a new Xbox 2018, not gonna happen. All right, I'm gonna tell you why. Let's start with number one, and we're gonna talk money. Right? Microsoft invested lots and lots of money into creating the Xbox One X. They invested a ton of money into research and development behind Project Scorpio and how they're gonna get the levels of performance they needed to get in a $500 console in a slim form factor with minimal heat, minimal sound, and all the bells and whistles. All right? And for just $500 to include 4K streaming and, Ultra UHD Blu-ray player and all, Dolby Atmos. free sync, and all that other crap into a $500 package. That's a lot of money they invested in. And Microsoft is not making money off of a console sold. Reports are they're breaking even per console. So they're not making money when they sell an Xbox One X. What they're hoping to do is, with the capabilities that the One X has and the power, that more people will choose that console over the competitor's console because of power. That's number one. Number two, with the ability to enhance older games, you know, or even the current games, enhance Xbox One games with 4K assets and 4K texture, all that, enhance 360 games, enhance original Xbox One, original Xbox games. Okay, hello, wake up. All right, they're hoping consumers will buy those games. So the money Microsoft is hoping to get out of the One X is the game sales, right? Now, game sales take time because more people have to be given the opportunity to buy an X, because everybody did not buy the One X day one. You got all the hardcore and all the enthusiasts, they bought day one. But over time, Microsoft hopes to sell more and more One X's through price drops and, through normal advertisements, but most importantly, through price drops, right? They're going to need a lot more time than 2019 when they release a new console, because that right there is the deadline, all right? If Microsoft was actually going to release a new console, that means One X only really has 2018 and half of 2019. And the reason why I say half of 2019 is because if a new console is going to launch that year, they're going to announce it no later than E3, which is June 2019. That means from January to June, the Xbox One X got its time to itself. Once June hits, that's it. People are going to be looking at the new Xbox console. That doesn't make sense. Microsoft's going to invest all that money into One X, and every One X they're currently selling, they're not making money off of, yet they're only going to give it really 1 year to do its thing? What do they expect One X to achieve in 1 year? So, no, right? That doesn't make sense. So that's reason number one, time and money. Reason number two, pricing. One X is $500. It's not dropping below $400 by 2019. Even if Microsoft decided to drop $50 a year. So let's say next November 2018, Microsoft does a price drop. So now it's $450. And then November 2019, let's say the same month the new Xbox launch, the One X is $400. Right? So now think about this. The One X, $400. The brand new Xbox, maybe $500 again. It's only $100 difference. Are you going to tell me people are going to buy a 2-year-old last-gen console for $400 when for only an extra $100 you could get a brand new next-generation console? Who's going to buy the One X for $400 when you could get the new Xbox for $500? That doesn't make sense either. And here's another thing. Because of that scenario, the next Xbox has to cost $500. They already put themselves in releasing another $500 console. What is it with this company or the thought process that releasing $500 consoles is okay? Do they not see the ass kicking they got from Sony? They release $400 consoles. That's the sweet spot. Because with that sweet spot, you can drop the price quickly. But when you have $500, it's going to take a while to reach the $300 price zone. And you can't release the next Xbox for $400 because you're not going to be able to drop the price of the One X lower than $400 that fast. Imagine if Microsoft does release a more powerful next generation console for $400 and right next to it is the Xbox One X for $400. No one's going to buy the One X. Project Scorpio is a disaster. They put so much money in a console that would fail. And it wouldn't be because of Sony or PlayStation or Nintendo. It would be because of themselves. They will be doing what Sega did. It doesn't make sense. Releasing hardware after hardware after hardware. That's not it. That just doesn't make sense. Now, I know some people are looking forward to taking advantage of Ryzen Vega, right? And some people are saying, well, Porterock, the Xbox One X is a mid-gen refresh. It's not a next-generation console. So, yeah, they could come out. Listen, that's just words. Mid-gen refresh, next generation is just words. The money's real. They spent real money on that. They spent a lot of money. So it doesn't matter. Just because the Xbox One X is a mid-gen refresh doesn't make it okay. It costs dinero. There's a lot of pesos for that sucker. And they have to recoup it. You have to understand, when they make a console, every company that makes a console, they invest a lot of money into creating that console, right? So that puts them below zero. They're in the red right off the bat. But that's planned. That's okay. It's planned. Because they're going to recoup that money and make a lot more after it. Right? Because eventually, that console they made, eventually that console will be manufactured for a cheaper price. So eventually they will make profit off of every console sold. But more importantly, it's the game sales. It's the services and stuff that they sell after the consumer buys that console. Right? Now, in the beginning, Microsoft's not making a lot of money off the One X. What I mean by that is profit. Sure, you can make a whole bunch of revenue, because the console costs $500, but again, they're just breaking even. So there's not much profit after that. Now, people, again, I just said you make profit off the game sales. So you guys might be confused, Porter Rock. You just said when the console sells themselves games, they make money off it. So why are you saying Xbox is really not going to make money off of game sales? I said at this point in the beginning it's not. The reason why is a lot of those Xbox One X's, majority of them, were sold to people who already own Xbox. A brand new Xbox user or a brand new gamer or consumer that never owned an Xbox this current generation didn't go out and buy a One X. Or very few. Alright? Most of the Xbox One X purchasers were people that already own an Xbox. Meaning they already are buying games on the platform. They already buy games for Xbox. They already buy the multi-class. They already buy the exclusives. They're already buying games. So when they bought an Xbox One X, they didn't add to the active user base for Microsoft for increased game sales. All they did was just replace the Xbox they already had and put a new Xbox in. But the game sales has already been there. They're already contributing to Xbox bottom line when it comes to game sales. All right? Over time, over the coming year, over the coming 2 to 3 years, you're going to get users who never owned an Xbox, and this will be their first Xbox, whether it's their first Xbox for the current generation or it's their first Xbox period, because they never owned one. Those are the consumers that's going to bring in money for Xbox, because they never owned one. They weren't buying Xbox games. But that's going to take time, because right now $500, some ain't going to jump in. Maybe they might jump in at $450 because that's the way they want to do 4K. Maybe even $400. Maybe even $350. Those are the price marks that will drive in new consumers. New consumers that will be part of the Xbox environment for the first time. Whether it's the first time this generation or the first time at all. That's when Microsoft makes his money. Microsoft didn't make money selling the Xbox One X to Tim Dog. He was already buying Microsoft games. They're not making money off his Zaire via the Xbox One X because he was already buying Xbox games. He bought all his multiplats on Xbox because he preferred the ecosystem playing with his friends there. They were, Microsoft already had their money. Who Microsoft is looking for is maybe some of you guys, because some of you guys don't have an Xbox at all. But if they could find a way to get an Xbox One X in your home, now they're making money. That is what Microsoft wants to do, but that takes time. Releasing a new console 2019, not enough time. You really only have this year and the first 6 months of 2019. Because who's going to buy a $400 Xbox One X in November of 2019 when a $500 new Xbox got announced? So it's unrealistic. Ladies and gentlemen, my fellow gamers, we won't even see a PlayStation 5 in 2019. Nothing's coming out in 2019. So dead the conversation. All right? What we need to do is put our focus on the games. All right? Because that's where Microsoft needs the most help at this point. And that's where Sony is striving. But we need to make sure we let Sony know we appreciate what they're doing, that they're pumping out these games. We don't want them to get distracted and be like, Well, we have all these games, but the PlayStation fans still talking about the PlayStation 5. So does that mean we need to put more hardware and slow down on games? No. No. Don't do that. Don't do that, Sony. Nah. Don't go with this power fanboy bullshit. You're doing perfectly exactly what we want. Don't worry about no damn PlayStation 5 in 2019. Because the people who do want it is only like 100,000. Of course, I'm making a number. But it's not 30, 40 million people jumping up and down for, we want power, Sony. No one cares. The majority wants these games. Give us these games. Keep producing these games. You got plenty of time before you need to push out the next PlayStation 5. Got plenty of time. Microsoft, you have the most powerful platform. Don't worry about a new console. Here's another thing, all right? Because according to DreamcastGuy, who's the one talking about this, it's because they're worried about the next PlayStation 5. Right? I even have people on Twitter telling me that Microsoft does need to release a new PlayStation, a new Xbox in 2019 because of console market share. Let's be honest. What console market share does Microsoft have to worry about? And I'm not doing this to insult the brand, but can we all be real now? Can we really talk like real adults? They can't get the Asian market. Let's be honest. We all know that, right? As far as Europe, at best, only the UK. At best. That's their best case for Europe. UK. We already seen with the PS3. Let's look at the PS3 360 gen, all right? The PS3 launched as a disaster. It was $600, and Sony focused more on Blu-ray and shoehorning, Trojan horsing the cell processor so they could try to make that as the main processor for the electronic industry to buy. So they could put that in their TVs, in their computers, laptops, tablets, everything. Phones. Hell, they were even talking about putting in microwaves and refrigerators. So Sony was trying to use the PS3 as a Trojan horse. That was their focus. Cell processor, Blu-ray movies. They launched at a $600 price. They lost a lot of third-party support that was exclusive to them. That's why Final Fantasy's on 360. That's why Devil May Cry went to 360. That's why Grand Theft Auto went day one on 360. And the platform had two timed exclusives to two downloadable contents. The first time the franchise gets downloadable content and it's not even on PlayStation, the brand that brought them up to to powerful heights, it was 360. 360 came out a year earlier, had more exclusives, had Japanese games, had a better arcade, had a more coherent online infrastructure, had a better controller that came with Rumble out the box, had a headset in the box, and it was $200 cheaper. And the best Microsoft did was tie the platform. That was Microsoft's best move. Match Sony's worldwide sales. Or maybe surpass it by a little bit. Some people say PlayStation 3 surpassed the sales. Some people say 360 did. Some people say it's neck and neck. But look at the entire advantage 360 had. You can't get a better advantage than that. Came out a year earlier, $200 cheaper, took all the exclusive support PS3 have your own exclusive support, right? Has some of the biggest blockbuster games within the first 3 years, come with a headset, a better online setup. PlayStation was $600, really only focused on Blu-ray movies when most people didn't want Blu-ray movies. A cell processor which was garbage. Initial exclusives that were garbage. Come on, really? MotorStorm? People buy PlayStation for goddamn MotorStorm? Hardly have any Japanese support because either 360 had it or Nintendo had it. And the best 360 was able to do was dominate the United States, which was important. But when it came to Europe, it was the UK. The rest of Europe was still PlayStation primarily, And Asia was still primarily PlayStation. And you're talking about the most perfect storm to make 360 the most dominant console, and it couldn't do it. Not because it wasn't a bad console. It was a great console. For whatever reason, it just couldn't do it. So in reality, for next generation, it has nothing to do with what Microsoft does. It has more to do with what Sony doesn't do. As long as Sony doesn't do stupid shit, it's going to be the most successful console of the next generation. It's just, the brand just sells. It's like a pair of Jordans. It's going to sell. It doesn't matter what new sneakers are out there. When the new Jordans are out, people get it. And keep in mind, he's releasing the same Jordans I had since I was 14, 13, 14. It just sells. That's just how it is. It really comes down to as long as Sony doesn't become a moron and do dumb stuff. As long as they release an affordable price console with great hardware to release great games, and it's easy for developers to make games for third party and their first party, that's it. Success. Cha-ching. Prints money. Best-selling console. That's all Sony needs to do. Right? So I don't think Microsoft is really worried about console market share when they realize they're probably not going to get a lot. The console market share they got is pretty much what you see now. Because a lot of people that got Xbox are Xbox fans. And that's who Microsoft's going to cater to. And we heard time and time again from Phil Spencer, from Phil, constantly, he's telling you, he's knocking, he's like, I want my games to be played on every device available. He's telling you this. And he's not talking Steambox. A lot of people are comparing his store to Steambox. The difference between what he's saying and Steambox was Valve and other companies was creating specific devices for Steam, known as Steamboxes, right? That's not what he's talking about. He's not talking about creating a specific device from other manufacturers called Xboxes or Steam type boxes. No. What he's talking about is, hey, you right there. Yeah, I'm pointing at you, right? That tablet you have right there in the corner. Yeah, can you grab it? Yeah, I'm going to put my games on that tablet. You already own the tablet. Don't worry about it. I'm going to put my games on there. You're going to be able... You over there? Oh, snap. My little light went out. Oh, snap. Anyway, let's keep going. You over there. The one with the laptop. Yeah, that laptop. Yeah, that... What is it? Hewlett Packard? Yeah, you already... Yeah, cool. Yeah, you're going to be playing Xbox games on there too because I'm going to be able to provide it to you. You over there on the phone? Yeah. iPhone? Oh, yeah. You're going to be playing my games there. You with the Samsung Galaxy? Yeah. You right there with the Toshiba? Yep. You're going to be playing games too. Everybody's going to be playing games. Everybody. All right. Let me get my light back up. You gotta have good lighting on there. Somebody told me you always gotta have good lighting. Right? Screw it. Put it right here. All right. Back in action. But anyway. He wants to put his games on every device. I mean, their most successful IP is Minecraft. And the game's on PlayStation. That should give you an idea. You can play that game everywhere. I think Phil is smart enough to realize majority of people are not going to buy... I'm not going to say majority. But there's a lot of people that's just not going to buy Xbox. They have no interest in the brand. They just don't have an interest in it. There's nothing he can do to convince them to get an Xbox. And I think he realizes that. Okay, nothing wrong with that. But he wants to find a way to put his games and his products, whatever, on a device you do. Think about it this way. It would not surprise me at all that by the time the PlayStation 6 comes out, we'll be playing Microsoft developed games on that platform. Their Microsoft first party games will be available on the PlayStation 6. I would not be surprised at all. Why? Because imagine, let's say, Asia. Asia's big into fighters, right? But he's unable to sell his Killer Instinct IP to Asia unless they play it on PC. Why? Because they're not buying Xboxes. But the Asian market has a shitload of PlayStations, right? And they buy all their fighters on there, right? So fuck it. Put Killer Instinct on the box they obviously want to play on. They don't want to buy Xbox. Fine. Don't buy Xbox. But you're going to buy my game here. You're going to have at least the opportunity to buy my game. Here's Killer Instinct playing on the console that you want. And guess what? They most likely will buy it. And they'll make money off it. And I think that's the direction he's going to go. Now, a lot of people, I know some of you are asking a question. Porter, you just mentioned tablets and phones. How the hell are we going to play Gears of War on tablets and phones? Phil's mentioned on the Business Insider, right? He was interviewed. He says Microsoft will be releasing their own streaming service, right? Now, if you don't understand that, he's going to release their own version of PS Now, right? Where you can stream your games to your device. Now, some people may not understand what's the whole point of online game streaming, right? The main reason online game streaming is there is so that way you can play these graphically demanding games on weak hardware because the game is not being rendered with the hardware that you're playing on. So if you got a $300 laptop, you can play Gears of War 4 on it, right? Or you could play, what's another demanding game? PUBG, all right? Or you can play, The Witcher 3, all right? And the reason why is it's not the laptop that's rendering or processing the game. It's the servers. And the servers are simply streaming the game to your laptop. Okay? So you could technically play Witcher 3 on a tablet. Because it's not the tablet rendering it at all. It's just a screen. All the inputs and processing is done at the server level. Now, Microsoft tested this, according to Phil Spencer, they tested this in 2012. It wasn't ready. It didn't get the performance they want. All right? So they put a hold on it. But with the improvements of Azure servers, they are getting there, and he feels within 3 years they're going to hit the mark on providing a quality streaming service. All right? That streaming service is going to be key to get you to play Xbox games on that very tablet. That's why I'm talking to you, homeboy. Yeah, don't look away. Yes, I'm talking to you. That tablet you got there, that $150 tablet, you're going to be playing Gears of War 4 on there. And Microsoft could be like, hey, let's say right now, some of you don't have Xboxes, right? If Microsoft says, hey, you can play all our games, like the Gamepads. Gamepads, right? $9 a month. And you can play all our games. Oh, by the way, you don't even have to buy an Xbox. That tablet you got right there, you can do it right there. And you can use a third-party controller. You know, you connect it via Bluetooth, right? Or the crappy little e-machine tablet you got there. Yeah, do it right there. Do it on that too, right? And let's say they provide a quality streaming service that's much better than what we get at PS Now, with lower latency, you know, no interruptions. It's pretty smooth, all right? Graphics look great, and you're only paying $9 a month, and you didn't have to buy hardware to do it. Would you try it out? Of course you would. Everyone would. Hell, I would try it out. Don't tell me none of you would try it out. Right? Being able to play Xbox games on a device you already own. Right? And it's only $9 a month. And it's a quality stream, you know? Because it's backed by Azure servers. And that's what he wants to do. Right? And when you think about it and you look at Microsoft, that's how they made their billions. That's how they became the richest company. They didn't sell you Windows. They didn't sell you Windows 98, Windows 2000, Windows 7 by creating the PC and a laptop and selling you both. No, Microsoft didn't do that. They just provided the software. Everybody else had the hardware. Dell had the hardware. HP had the hardware. Lenovo, Toshiba, Samsung, even at one point Sony, when they were making PCs and laptops. They sold you hardware. The software was already in it. And that software was Windows, right? And Microsoft is not even beyond trying to force you to buy Windows. They're not even caring about that anymore. Why? Because Mac users can now legally purchase Microsoft Office. Mac users, Mac OS, a competitor to Windows OS, Mac OS users can walk to a Windows store and buy Microsoft Office right off the shelf for Mac. So Microsoft's not even keeping their own productivity software, which is a third of their revenue, exclusive to Windows. They don't care. And look at some of the recent purchases, not recent, but look at some of the purchases they did, right? They bought Havoc, right? Are they keeping it exclusive to their platform, to their games, to their development tools? No. Sony wants to use it, fine. Use it, Sony. We don't care. We don't care if you're using a physics engine to a game that's making Xbox exclusives look like shit. They don't care. They don't care if that tool is helping PlayStation games look great and look better than their games. Whatever. Use it. They also purchase or have like rights to Simply Gone. Again, they're not keeping that exclusive to Microsoft products or Microsoft first party products or nothing. Sony can use that too. So does this sound like Microsoft really cares about keeping things away from Sony? No, they don't. They don't care. At the end of the day, for Microsoft, I think they're more concerned about making money in the business of gaming, just in general, than worrying about making money within the business of Xbox. I think that soon is going to get to the point where Xbox, and I'm not the dude saying we're not going to have Xbox or Microsoft's not going to make consoles anymore. I'm not saying that. I think Microsoft will always make a console because they know they have a fan base that is dedicated to being a console gamer. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of Xbox dudes that want that console Xbox experience. So Microsoft knows those people will always buy a console. They just need to create a good console for those to always keep coming back, right? And as long as they know that everything they buy within that ecosystem can be carried forward to the next Xbox, those Xbox gamers will always buy the new Xbox, all right? Microsoft just needs to be smart about it, Right? That's another reason why they're not going to release a new box in 2019. It's going to piss off a lot of people. Imagine if you go buy the Xbox One X in November, this November, right? And it costs $450, right? It's only a year old, right? And then the next year they released a brand new Xbox for $500. You'd be like, well, shit, I would have just waited. Wouldn't that piss you off? It will piss you off. Microsoft knows not to piss off their fan base. All right? They're always going to create an Xbox because they know there's always a user that wants that console experience. Right? But they're going to branch out. It's going to be more about Microsoft gaming than it is Xbox gaming. It's going to be Microsoft gaming. Phil wants all his games on every device. All right? So again, I will not be surprised if eventually PlayStation 6, there'll be Microsoft games on that platform. So Microsoft can leverage, and not just PlayStation 6, Nintendo as well. I will not be surprised. Microsoft games are also available on Nintendo and PlayStation to leverage the market where Xbox can't penetrate and take and get sales of services and games from those regions. Simply because it's available on the platform they prefer in those markets. All right? Now, some people are going to say, this stuff, some fanboy banter, Puerto Rocky on your pony bullshit again. Just remember, I'm the dude that told y'all logically Scorpio was not going to have Ryzen, was not going to have Vega, was going to be $500, and I told you Xbox wasn't going to win November MPD. So I don't know. I think I should have a little bit of credibility when I talk. I talk from a place of common sense. But hey, you let me know. Hit up the comment section. Be the judge. Am I full of shit? Or is there some merit to what I'm talking about? All right? But definitely hit up the comment section. Hit me up on Twitter. Let's continue the conversation there. As always, I truly appreciate you guys showing up. I truly appreciate you guys checking out this video. I hope you enjoy it. Again, if you're new, hit that like button. Well, everybody hit the like button, but hit the subscribe button if you're new. All right? Be part of the growing family. I have amazing subscribers. I want you to be part of it. I want you to continue enjoying the videos that I'm pushing out. And every Wednesday, which is today, 60 frames, no lag, 8 p.m. Eastern. Be there. Be there live. Hit up the chat. Conversate. I got some amazing mods. I got some amazing chat people, chat gamers. It's live. It's great. It's a great time. I have real people, real gamers that love real things. So join. All right? Hit me up. Support the channel. And I'll check you out later. This is your boy, Puerto Rock 77. And I'm shaking. It's shaking. It's an earthquake. It's a snow day out here. Anyway, I'm out. Take care. Peace.